I think the most important thing is that Barack Obama, not a person in the United States Congress who was not necessarily privy to all of the classified information, saw, as many Americans saw, not as many as know now, but as many people saw, that this war was not necessary. He said that he was not someone who was against all war, but he was against foolish wars. And he was able to just cut through all of really the propaganda that was being thrown at us and understand that no, we have not exhausted all of the other possibilities. We haven't made sure that war is the only option. And so he made a very strong statement early on as someone who was running for the United States Senate, a very brave thing to do at the time, because the conventional wisdom inside the Beltway, and somewhat outside, because after 9/11, fear was the message for all Americans, that we needed to do that. And he stepped forward very courageously to say, no, this is not the thing that we should be doing right now. And so his judgment and his ability to step back and really evaluate things so carefully and clearly is something that, again, we desperately need as a country. You know, we've given war a chance, and now it's time to give peace and diplomacy and other options a chance. I think Barack Obama, upon being sworn in as President of the United States, is the only one who really has the capacity to send a very different signal around the world, someone who can effectively go to capitals of both our allies and our adversaries and create a new tone that creates the space for peace in the 21st century. I'm sure that there were political consultants who were telling him to hedge his bets, perhaps tone it down, not be so explicit as going to an anti-war rally and saying to them and to the world that this was a foolish war, that this war was a mistake, when everyone really, you know, I was one of those in the House of Representatives who helped to organize Democrats in the House to vote against the war. And in fact, 60% of the Democrats in the House voted against the war resolution. Far fewer as a percentage in the United States Senate. But the story was already written, and the story was that on a bipartisan basis, the Congress is going to endorse the president's use of force and potential invasion of Iraq. For someone who is not well known, still a guy with a funny name, running for the United States Senate, to say boldly and unequivocally that he believed that this was the wrong decision, that we should not go to war, meant that he was going to defy that conventional wisdom, perhaps risk his election to the United States Senate, but he felt strongly enough about it to stand up and say no to war.